Alright, so the recent Clash Royale update has been out for a few weeks, and now it's time for me to share my thoughts. Initially, I thought that the update was really great and one of the best updates in Clash Royale history, but now I admittedly have some concerns. Also, I'd love to hear everyone's feedback on this update as well. I personally want to see what the community thinks, and if I see any good suggestions, then I'll be sure to share them with Supercell as well, so be sure to leave a comment. So this is the first time in 2 years that we've gotten 2 cards released at once. The last time this happened was with the Electro Spirit and the Electro Giant all the way back in October 2020. When both of these cards were unreleased, they were actually pretty underwhelming, which is really surprising considering the consensus about the Electro Giant. And with the Monk and the Phoenix, I think it's safe to say that the exact opposite applies. I have played Clash Royale since 2016 when the game first came out, and I think the Phoenix is the best card that I have ever seen this game have. The value that it provides for 4 elixir is literally just unlike anything I've ever seen before. And then after you do kill the Phoenix, there's just another one waiting to spawn if you don't destroy the egg. It's crazy. So on top of having the most broken card being released in the Phoenix, we have another card, the Monk, which really isn't too far behind. I would say the Monk is a top 5 best card of all time, honestly. Not as many people are talking about the Monk because it's a little bit more difficult to unlock because you have to be at 6,500 trophies and it's a champion, but it's almost just as strong as the Phoenix. My concern isn't necessarily based on the fact that we have 2 cards released that are incredibly broken, but my main concern is that Clash Royale has proven over the past few years that they have an inability to release cards that are balanced. It has honestly become a serious problem and a legitimate concern that I have. Since 2019, Clash Royale has released 20 cards. Let me read them off to you. Wall Breakers, Earthquake, Goblin Cage, Fisherman, Elixir Golem, Battle Healer, Firecracker, Heal Spirit, World Delivery, Skeleton Dragon, Electro Giant, Electro Spirit, Mother Witch, Goblin Drill, Golden Knight, Archer Queen, Skeleton King, Mighty Miner, Phoenix, and Monk. Of all of these cards, I would argue that the Earthquake and the Firecracker are the only 2 cards upon release that were actually somewhat balanced. The other cards were incredibly polarizing, being extremely weak or extremely strong. Over the past 3 years, this has been the case, and it is concerning to me. While new cards do bring a lot of hype to Clash Royale as it's something fresh and something new and something that everyone can try out, if the card is unbalanced upon release, the community will get incredibly frustrated with it and the hype will die out shortly after instead of being sustainable. I really do like the Monk and the Phoenix as they're both really cool cards that have unique mechanics that the game has never seen before. But their imbalance, at least right now, is a major problem, and it's a problem for the future as well. All right, so before we talk about the ladder rework, we're gonna talk about a few good things that came in this update that I actually do like. Positivity is really good for the soul. So here is your incredibly small dose of positivity for this video. I really like the Deck Explorer. It's a pretty cool feature for someone who wants to explore new decks. Bringing back quests in the form of daily tasks is a really cool thing. Making champions not limited to level 14 is an amazing feature. They are some of the most unique cards in the entire game, and giving more players access to use them is definitely a good thing in my opinion. And along that same vein, we have champion magic items. There is your dose of positivity. Now let's talk about the ladder rework. So of course, this was the biggest part of the update, the rework to ladder. We now have a Path of Legends, which is separate from the Trophy Road. In concept, having a casual ladder and a competitive ladder is a good thing. Most games have some sort of system like this, so I think having it in Clash Royale finally is a good thing. However, with the way that Clash Royale did things with the Path of Legends, I think they overall made the game too easy. With how things are split up, Ultimate Champion is much easier to hit with the Path of Legends compared to how it was before. In my opinion, this is primarily due to the step system, especially the gold steps. If you reach a gold step and then go on a 5-game losing streak, there are no repercussions for that losing streak. You stay exactly where you are as if you didn't play or lose any games at all. With the old system, if you went on a 5-game losing streak, you'd lose about 150 trophies and have to gain that progress back. With this being the case, it keeps people in arenas that they probably shouldn't be in, and it overall just inflates a person's ranking. And overall, it just makes the upper leagues like Ultimate Champion not feel as special as they used to. Ultimate Champion used to be for the best of the best in Clash Royale, the top players in the entire world. But now, with proper time and dedication, pretty much an average player in Clash Royale can get the Ultimate Champion if they really want to. If I wanted to, if I really wanted to, I could probably get to Ultimate Champion. And if you know me, then you know that I am not good at Clash Royale. I am actually terrible.
That's true. That is true.
One thing I would do is change this so that way gold steps do actually break, but after like 3 losses or so. This would still give players a buffer after they reach a new milestone, but it makes it so that way they actually still have to keep trying in order to progress. And that way they can also still fall back down if they play poorly. Oh yeah, and one more thing, if they really wanted to make this a true ranked experience, everything should be standardized. The Path of Legends starts at level 11 in Challenger Leagues, but then it goes up to level 12 as you hit Master Leagues. I personally believe that everything should be standard at level 11, so that way there's absolutely no possibility of overleveled cards being a factor. Alright, so to be honest, the Path of Legends, it has its problems, but my biggest concern is honestly with the Trophy Road. First things first, I like how they extended it to add more arenas. I always enjoy playing in different environments, so I'm not complaining about different arenas at all. Also, this new Trophy Road has better rewards, so again, I'm not really going to complain about that. I also think that adding extra king levels was honestly not a terrible thing. Having more variation in the levels allows for more precise matchmaking, so I'm all for that at the end of the day. However, there are 2 things with the Trophy Road that I think are really bad: the level gate system and the lack of a reset. My guess is that the level gate system is to prevent underleveled players from getting too high on the Trophy Road, so that way they don't have to deal with overleveled players. But if a player is good enough to get to the next arena, let them progress. They deserve it. Their progression shouldn't be limited based on their level. Their progression should only be limited based on their skill. And yeah, having no reset is a terrible idea in my opinion. Once someone pushes high enough and hits 7,500 trophies, that's it. They won't get reset at all, and it basically leaves the Trophy Road useless after you've claimed all the rewards and gotten to the highest point. You can still get chests and stuff from this. I do believe that's the case, but really there's no incentive to keep playing the Trophy Road besides getting chests, and you can get chests from the Path of Legends. So what's the point of doing this? So that's my rant about the ladder rework, but I have 2 more things that I want to talk about really quickly that I think are also very important. First things first is I don't like how they moved the party mode into the menu button. Right now, it's not on the main screen anymore, which is kind of bad. I've gotten a lot of comments thinking that they removed the party button because it isn't on the main interface anymore, and that is just, that's not what you want. Here's a simple fix: put it back on the home screen, or if you can't fit it there, put it in the challenge tab somewhere. It could fit probably. Second thing is the Hoggy Bank. This thing is useless, almost. I wouldn't say it's a scam, but it does feel like a blatant cash grab. You're gonna make me pay $2 for 12,500 gold? No, thank you. I'll just play some games and get some gold crates. I'd rather do that, thank you very much. For real, if anyone from Supercell actually does end up watching this video, please get rid of the Hoggy Bank. I don't think there's any point of it being in the game. It's just money for gold, which is just go to the shop and do that. And the gold it's providing really isn't even that much. Initially, I liked this update. Having 2 separate ladders was a cool concept and would give casual players and sweaty players different variations in how they could play the game. However, after thinking about it more, I see more long-term issues than benefits. The Monk and the Phoenix can be fixed. Those are just short-term problems that can be solved over time. However, I think the rearrangement of how things work in ladder is a long-term issue that will be problematic as time goes along. Once again, be sure to let me know what you all think about this in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, be sure to check out this video as well. I'm sure you'll enjoy it just as much. See you all in the next one.